Welcome back to the development of Countryball Rogue, a Pokemon-like roguelite using history and pull-in balls made in the Godot engine. This week, I wanted to prioritize the foundations of the game, connecting the actual gameplay made last time to the title and starter screens, as well as clean up a lot of the spaghetti code and data management in the background. Let me walk you through the progress that's been made, starting off first with the title screen. Honestly, this scene will probably be the easiest thing I'll get to make for this game, given it's literally just a logo and a container holding buttons. I may come back later and add art and other details, but currently, this is basically functionally complete. Now, let's move to the core of what I've worked on, the starter screen. Here, I've built a very basic framework of the starter screen, with just a bunch of containers and color recs, but something I've discovered while doing this is of a node called ReferenceRects, which creates these white borders around the containers. The only minor skill issue is that because of how I set it up, when I try to click on lower parent nodes, Godot thinks I'm clicking on the ReferenceRects since they're on top, but otherwise this system works without issue. The next thing I worked on was transitioning between scenes. Now, while it wouldn't be that difficult to program in the fading animations I'm looking for, I've learned from a past experience that it's often a good idea to check if someone's already done it. Map Painter, to describe it briefly, is a simple grand strategy game, a kind of cross between Hearts of Iron 4 and Civilization. Some months ago, I was programming the processing of game maps from scalable vector graphics to something Godot would understand, writing hundreds of lines of code and going through actual debugging hell to get it to mostly work, which ended up creating large delays in the game when trying to process such a file. As it turns out, and credit to this Reddit comment, I could have saved myself a lot of work if I used this add-on called Godot XML. After implementing the add-on, the amount of code I had and the time it took to process a file were both cut in half. Applying what I've learned now, I checked if there was anything in the asset library that would create the scene transitions I'm looking for, and lo and behold, I was blessed by the add-on called Universal Fade. After playing with it for a bit, I got the transitions I wanted, probably saving hours of work. Next up, I wanted to make the starter roster functional, but that required some reworking of the data on the inside first. Previously, I was using one global script to hold everything from move descriptions to the game's save data in one place, which I started to realize was going to get really long and really unnavigable real quick. I decided to break it up into 3 global scripts: nations.gd to store the names and typings, moves.gd for all the information related to a move like its power or accuracy, and global.gd, a more miscellaneous script for save and settings data, as well as anything else that didn't fit in the previous 2. Additionally, I gave these scripts the proper getter and setter functions just to make interacting with them easier from the game and starter scripts. With that complete, I finally got to working on the starter roster. Now, there's a lot going on, so here's a quick breakdown on how I got this to work. The roster is made up of a horizontal flow container inside of a scroll container. As you unlock characters, the game will add them to an array in the global script, which is used to figure out what nations to show in the starter screen. To do that, I made a separate scene that is added in as children in the flow container. I chose to make the scene separate so I could easily attach a script to it, giving that script information about what nation it represents, as well as using signals to connect it back to the starter script. With that information, I'm able to update the info box when a nation is given focus. And that's all I got for this video. I know it was a little bit less showy this time around, and big apologies for not getting this out earlier, but with this backbone complete, I can get to making the proper gameplay loop, and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys something cooler next time. If you'd like to see that, consider subscribing, but otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.